Well, hey guys, we're in Memphis, Tennessee today, riding around Forest Hill Cemetery. We're going to introduce you to and visit the grave of, and of course, pay our respects to Uncle Vester Presley. Vester, of course, was Vernon Presley's brother, Vernon being Elvis's dad. We're going to ride by the mausoleum where Elvis's memorial service was held and where he was buried along with his mother for a short time before they moved them to Graceland. But back to Uncle Vester. On September the 11th in 1914 in Fulton, Mississippi, Vester Presley was born. His parents were J.D. and Minnie Mae Presley. You can visit Minnie Mae's grave when you visit Graceland today. Vester was the oldest of 5 children. There were 2 boys and 3 girls. There was Vester, and then Vernon, and Delta Mae, and Gladys Erlene, and Nashville Lorraine. Here is the mausoleum, and for a short time Elvis was buried behind that window there on the right. And here the guys are as they carry Elvis's casket in for his funeral service. You know, I read somewhere that the day of Elvis's funeral, there were more flowers sold in the United States than ever before in history. Uncle Vester and Vernon, and well, J.D. and Minnie Mae Presley, they were all pretty typical Northeast Mississippians for that time frame. They were poor, but they didn't go without because everybody helped everyone. Vester was 18 months older than Vernon, but they grew up in a time when Vernon would have helped take care of Vester as much as Vester did Vernon. They may have been poor, but they were a close-knit family, and well, they took care of each other. And that taking care of family, well, that continued throughout their lives. Vernon had blonde hair and blue eyes, and well, he met a girl named Gladys Smith, and she had black hair and almost black eyes. Vernon and Gladys were married, and we took you to the place where that happened in Verona in a previous video, so you can check that out and get that story there. Gladys had a sister named Cletus, and she would become very important to Vester a little later on. After Vernon's marriage, Vester and Vernon and Jessie built Vernon's house for $180. And this is the house you visit when you visit the Elvis Presley birthplace in Tupelo. Gladys gave birth to 2 children on January the 8th, 1935. Minnie Mae assisted the doctor with the delivery. Jesse Guerin, Elvis's brother, died shortly after birth, and Elvis was born around 35 minutes later. Vester tells in his book, A Presley Speaks, that around this time, Vernon was making about $20 a week working for the WPA. It was shortly after that Vester married Cletus, Gladys's sister. Elvis soon became a growing happy child, who, yes, was very poor, but they didn't go without. They learned to just accept that life was hard and they would work hard. And Vester says Elvis was just a normal kid. They all went to church. They learned to love God and love each other. In 1949, J.D. and Minnie Mae divorced. Vernon moved with his family to Memphis in search of a better job and, well, opportunity for his family, and Uncle Vester followed a year later. I found it interesting reading Vester's book how this family really did stick together through it all. About this time, Elvis recorded his first record, and then in 1955, he was on the Louisiana Hayride. In 1956, the family moved to Audubon Drive, and Vernon became Elvis's business manager. One Sunday afternoon, Vester and Vernon went to see Graceland, which was for sale. Of course, they bought the property, and well, this family takes care of its own, and Elvis needed a guard at the gate that he could trust, and well, that became Uncle Vester. Uncle Vester experienced it all at Graceland. In August of '58, Gladys died. Elvis started renting out the fairgrounds where he grew to love the Zippin' Pippin' ride. Vester started taking fans up the drive at Graceland for many tours, we'll call it. Vester was around when Elvis would rent out the Memphian Theater in the 60s, and for the parties where they would sit around and listen to music and eat until all hours of the night. It was kind of cool to read how Vester experienced the phenomenon that was Elvis. He was there when Priscilla arrived at Graceland and when they married in '67. And of course, he had very vivid memories of Lisa Marie being born. He got to experience the Circle G Ranch and when Elvis started touring again, and of course was there in '73 when he and Priscilla divorced. Apparently during this time, people would be in sort of dire straits, and well, they would come to Memphis and camp on the grounds at Graceland because they just didn't know where else to go. And because Elvis had a real soft spot for the less fortunate, they were allowed to stay there until they could figure out what to do. In September of 1975, Elvis bought Vester a gold and black Cadillac. This would be the last car he would ever buy for his uncle. Vester said that in '76 and '77, Elvis rested a lot and he read all the time. Christmas of '76 was the last Christmas time that 50 to 75 family and their friends gathered at Graceland for a Christmas party. And of course, on August 16th, 1977, Uncle Vester was taking fans from the gates of Graceland up the driveway in his little yellow Jeep to have their pictures made in front of the front doors and, well, the window to Elvis's bedroom. Vester says that he took several hundred people up the driveway to have their pictures made in front of the house that day. Vester Presley stayed in Memphis after Elvis's death, and he died there on January the 18th, 1997, and is buried right here at Forest Hills Cemetery. Well, I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about Uncle Vester Presley today. Thank you.